Hey everyone, it's Candace, and today I'm about to do something I never thought I would do, and that is make the switch from Samsung Galaxy to iPhone. I've always said I was never going to switch to iPhone. Like, I will tell you that, my friends will tell you that. Maybe they didn't believe me, but I've always really dug my heels into the ground on this. But today I'm going to make that switch, and so I'm bringing you along with me. What's on the agenda today is I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory about my own history with smartphones, what's kind of stopped me from making the switch in the past and what sort of prompted me to do it now, and then I'll actually unbox the iPhone and then hop back in with a 1 month review of what it's been like since I made the switch. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that little subscribe button so you don't miss any more videos. And don't forget to leave a thumbs up and a comment to let me know what you think, or if you have any questions or suggestions maybe for future videos. If for some reason you're not happy with this and you're just like, this girl does not know what she's talking about, this is not what I thought this was going to be, no worries, troll-free zone, just exit out the browser that you entered. This is just a really quick disclaimer. When I filmed the initial video, a few of my files actually got lost and corrupted in transfer. So I'm actually reshooting a couple of small portions today. It's, no worries. I just wanted to, in case I disoriented anyone, I just wanted to let you know that I'm reshooting a couple of things today. Okay, so a little bit of backstory. I got my first smartphone around the time I graduated college, so 2015-ish, I want to say. I was obviously kind of behind everyone else. Pretty much everyone else I knew already had a smartphone by that point. One of my last research papers, my senior year of college, we were doing a media studies class, and my research paper was actually about basically the social and psychological implications of being an iOS versus a Droid user, and the fact that there's more Droids out there in the world than there are iPhones, but there's the idea that the iPhone is better. And so I think because I had just come out of that whole situation in my head, I think that's probably why when I got my first smartphone it was a Galaxy, because I had just done all that research and I just wasn't buying into all the hype about why one was better than the other. The very first smartphone that I purchased was a Samsung Galaxy S3. I'm a long time AT&T subscriber, just so that you all know. So I was doing the normal 2-year plan, you pay your phone off after 2 years type of deal. I enjoyed it. I went through the 2-year thing, paid the phone off, upgraded again to the S7, which was the newest phone at that time. And then I kept the S7 way past after I had paid it off, but then I was running out of storage. The battery was just tanking horribly, and the port where the charger went in was having some issues, and so it was becoming really difficult to actually charge the phone up. So top of 2020, I bought an unlocked Galaxy S10e, which is the phone that I've been using. I got this for $300, $315, something like that on eBay. Unlocked, purchased it, and I've been rocking with it ever since for the past 2.5 years. And I love it. The battery life is still great. Camera life is fantastic. There's really nothing wrong with this phone. Obviously, it's, it's aging out. It's older technology. We're on the 22 by now. But I don't have any major complaints about this phone at all. I've really, really liked it over the years. There's really two major reasons why I have always just stuck with the Galaxy. The first reason is because a lot, not all, but a lot of iPhone users are phone snobs, right? They make it seem like their iPhone is better than everyone else's. There is no other phone. If you don't have an iPhone, what are you doing? You need to switch. Your bubbles are green, blah, 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 blah. And I just got tired of it. The second and most important reason is because my personal and professional life literally runs on Google. As a matter of fact, when I bought this phone, the S10e, I almost bought a Google Pixel, which are fantastic phones, because obviously it runs on the Google system, and it's well, there you go. The phone was just a little bit more simplistic than what I wanted. The Google apps are already integrated and pre-installed on a Galaxy versus obviously they're not on iOS because Apple has its own version of all of these things. It has Safari instead of Chrome. Apple has its own version of Maps, and there's iCloud instead of Drive, and all of those things. And so just previously over the years, I have not felt comfortable leaving that safety net of what my workflow looks like on a daily basis. I was not going to make that decision blindly. So I did a lot of research on YouTube. I'm actually going to drop the links to the videos that I watched that I found most helpful, just in case someone else is in a similar decision. And essentially you can Googlefy your iPhone. So basically you can replace all of the iOS apps. So I know you all are thinking like, okay, Candace, that's cool. Like, what was it? What was the straw that broke the camel's back? I'm going to tell you. You all are going to laugh at me because you're going to say this is kind of silly and stupid. And perhaps it is. But gosh darn it, it's the truth. So literally like 5 days ago, it was a Nike commercial, right? It was the Tiger Woods Nike commercial, the one with Schoolboy Q. So I was going to share that in my story. But obviously, like, because it was just a regular post, it wasn't auto playing. And like, I love things that are just easy and like efficient. So I was like, why are my, like, obviously like IGTV and like Reels autoplay in my stories, but I'm like, why don't regular videos autoplay in my story when like all my friends' videos are autoplaying? And I was like, it's probably something that I need to change, like in my settings or whatever. Perhaps I need to update it. And I checked and my Instagram app was like completely updated. So I was like, cool, I'm good. So I Google it and they're like, this is how you turn on autoplay for videos and your stories. They're like, go to settings, go to autoplay, turn it on. So I go there and I'm like, I don't see it. And I go through all my settings. I know I spent like a legit 10 minutes like looking for this. I was like, it's not there. So I go back to the instructions and there's a part I didn't read the intro, and they were like, on your iPhone. Booyah. Lid pot boiled over, went full like Incredible Hulk mode. I was done. I know y'all are sitting here like, seriously, this girl just wants to autoplay videos and she's like, I'm getting another phone. Like, she's like full of crap. But this was the final straw, and a lot of things that have frustrated me over the years about being a Galaxy user. I think over the years that's been a little bit annoying for me being an Android user, is just having to wait later than everyone else to use certain apps. Like when the Pattern app was really big and had first caught waves like across the country, and of course it was for iOS devices only, and so like that was really annoying. I actually talked to a lady who works at an app development company like a few years ago, and she explained to me, this is going to be old hat for some of you all, but in case anyone else didn't know like I did, I just want to share this information. So essentially, you know, if let's say I'm going to create an app, and if I am developing the app, if I develop that app for iOS, I know that I am developing it for one specific device, that is whatever flagship iPhone is happening at the time. Versus if I say, okay, I have this app and now I want to make it for Android users, I have to develop it and code it with all of those different platforms in mind, with the idea that there's going to be Galaxy users and individuals who are running on the Google Pixel or LG or Motorola and Sony, and the list goes on and on and on, right? That creates a little bit more coding to make sure that what the app that I'm creating is going to be optimized to run on all of these different platforms. From that standpoint, obviously, from just logistically and from a business sense, it makes total and complete sense. As an Android user who wants to use certain apps, you know, that is a challenge that's always going to be there. That's really difficult to overcome. It's the regular 13. So something else that I wanted to share with you all, obviously there's a 13 mini, 13 Pro, and the 13 Pro Max. I knew I didn't want the mini because I don't like really small phones, and I knew I didn't want the Pro Max because I didn't want anything that was too big, and I like to be able to just sit my phone in my pocket. So it was obviously going to come down to the 13 or the 13 Pro. The 13 Pro is $200 more respectively at each storage level, and it has an extra storage level of 1 terabyte, which is like crazy for a phone. The main difference is that you have a macro and a telephoto lens on the 13 Pro, and then there's, you know, some slight differences in the screen as well as the system, but overall it is like exactly the same phone. The color palettes are also different. I wasn't too crazy about the color palettes on the 13 Pro. obviously like your phone's gonna be covered most of the time in a case, but still, I didn't like the muted color palette. I love the colors of the 13. I got it in blue. Blue is my favorite color. I thought this color was really pretty. So we're gonna take that. It's a nice phone. You know, it's almost virtually the same size. The screen is supposed to be about 5.7 to 5.8, I think, on the S10e, and this is a 6.1 screen. So yeah, as you can see, the 13 is a little bit thicker than the S10e, and obviously the bevels around it here versus are a little bit more square. So let's turn it on. So at this point, you just follow the prompts on the screen to start up the phone. You choose your language and your country and log into your Wi-Fi network. And you also set up a passcode for your phone. Now, the most important part at this stage is transferring data. This is something that's super simple on Galaxies, and it's also simple transferring from Android to iOS. So you download the Move to iOS app on your Android, and you can transfer any number of data that you see here on the screen. I chose to just transfer my contacts, calendar, and Google account, but you can also transfer media if you would like. Until you wait, this took about 5 or 6 minutes, and the transfer was complete on its own. It was super simple. At this point, I am now into the iPhone, and so I logged in with my Apple ID, which I already have since I own other Apple devices. You follow a couple more prompts, and then you are into the phone. So the iPhone is set up, as you all just watched me do. That was a really, really simple process. What was nice was that I already read and saw what apps were on my current phone, and then I went ahead and downloaded them, so I didn't have to actually go and like re-download all of my apps. And that's great because that's something that switching like from one Galaxy to the next, I've always been able to do. I just log in with Google and it does it. And so it's actually kind of nice. I guess that's kind of like the standard now for like transferring phones. Also, when I ordered it, I just went ahead and ordered the matching case because I wanted a case. I'm like, you're gonna have to drop some type of beans for a good case. So this is the Blue Jay silicone case with the MagSafe. I actually really like it. Hold on. So it keeps the Apple icon on the back. You can kind of see the MagSafe outline. But this inside, it's kind of velvety. It's like a velvet. You can kind of almost see like the texture. I'm gonna go across it with my finger. So we're gonna go ahead and switch out the SIM card. Okay, so whenever you buy a phone that's unlocked, whether you're buying a brand new used, whatever the case might be, your SIM card is what has the information for your cellular provider. So that's what associates your device with your cell phone number. And so I'm just going to borrow the little key here that came in with the iPhone. And so on every phone you'll see like this, there's always like a little slot and there's like this one little pin prick. That's where your SIM card lives. So on my phone, the S10, obviously it's at the top. So if I push and pop this in, it comes out. So you open it and there it is. Little buddy, just a little tiny. I'm gonna just slide the tray back in, push it till it clicks, and we're back. So normal, I cannot take or accept any messages or calls at this time. On the iPhone, it's on the bottom side. So again, we're gonna stick that pin in until the tray clicks out. If you notice that the Galaxy tray was a little bit bigger, it's because it also leaves a room for a micro SD card to expand your storage. The iPhone 13 does not have that. I purchased a 256 gigabyte, which is the second tier of storage. That in there, you'll see it fits into the slot easily. And then we're just gonna slide that back into here. I just texted a couple of people, so. I'll literally give them like about a couple minutes. Like, I think this is going to be probably like almost instantaneous. Okay, never mind. It's taking too long. But they will see it and I will update you on what their response is. Okay, so I just wanted to like make a note of that. Welcome to Blue Bubbles. But yeah, so I will basically film an update at the end of this week to let you know how my first week went, Okay, so it has been a week. 1 week with the iPhone. To cut to the chase and to just give you all my impressions right now, I think that the phones are as identical as they can be. Obviously the hardware is a little different, and hardware for me has never been anything that's like that, you know, it's just, I don't necessarily care too much one way or the other. It's always really been important to me is being able to use the apps that I want, to have that daily functionality, and to make sure the system, battery life, and camera are working strongly. Androids always get the coolest features first, iPhones always get the apps first. That's probably going to weigh itself almost evenly for a lot of people. Again, that's going to depend on how you use phones and what latest technology is or isn't important for you. So across the board, I did not feel like I was able to do anything that was critically important to my life on this iPhone that I could not do on this phone, and likewise. I don't think that there's any major capabilities that either one is missing. So my prior idea is that, you know, potato pretty much exists for me. With that being said, I do want to tell you if I was able to Google find my phone successfully, and I do want to tell you some of the features on the iPhone that I absolutely love and some of the features on the iPhone that I actually really hate and do not like at all. Interested in hearing my in-depth 1 week review of what I love and what I hate about iPhone? Then be sure to hit that subscribe button and tune in tomorrow for my official video with my in-depth review about what's great and bad about iOS. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to hit a thumbs up before you exit, and I will see you in the next video.